Hello guys, welcome to my first video, and this video is what if Jiraiya trained Naruto early. Like and subscribe and let's get started. Chapter 1 Forest outside Konoha the night after graduation. If you ever touch my sensei again I will kill you, Naruto yelled, anger coming welling inside him as he looked down at his injured surrogate brother Iruka. Ha, like you could, I'll kill you in one hit, Mizuki sneered. Fine, bring it on. And I will return it over 1,000 times, Kagebunshin no Jutsu. And suddenly the forest was filled with over 1,000 shadow clones. Mizuki didn't have time to respond as he was attacked by a barrage of orange-clad wannabe ninja. Hey, guess I overdid it, hey Iruka-sensei, asked Naruto sheepishly. Iruka was stunned. Maybe he can surpass all of the Hokages. Little did he know those same thoughts were going through the minds of two observers. Naruto, close your eyes, doing as he was told. Naruto waited as Iruka took off his forehead protector and placed it on his favorite student's head. Okay, you can open them now, Iruka said, voice full of pride. Naruto saw the new addition to his outfit and jumped for joy, shouting about how he did it and how he would be Hokage in no time with unbridled joy in his voice. I promise I will make you proud, Iruka-sensei, he said, barely containing tears of joy. You already have Naruto Hokage office. Well, the kid definitely has guts, and by the looks of it a shitload of untapped potential. What do you think, sensei? Asked a man with waist-length white hair and red marks on his eyes. Yes, he certainly does, jiraiya, but with that much chakra it is no wonder poor Naruto couldn't do a standard clone. He simply has far too much to control, Sarutobi Hiruzen answered. Well, I was going to wait around a year or till his first Chunin exams before I took up training the Gaki, but I think it's about time I get to know my godson and take up his training, Jiraiya said proudly. Kakashi will not be happy. He was hoping to have the boy on his Genin squad, especially seeing as the council will probably try and force him to pass his team because of the Uchiha. Hiruzen responded. Don't worry, I'll take care of that anyway. This is the same council that refused to let me take the Gaki with me when I had to leave for my spying, even though Minato and Kushina left me as his guardian. What do you think the council's orders are going to be to Kakashi? Give all his students an equal time or focus on the Uchiha, Jiraiya argued. Very well, I'm sure Naruto and Iruka are on the way here. Would you like to stay and talk to him now? The professor asked. Nah, I'm gonna go catch up on my research, and with that the Toad Sage was out through the window. I wish just once he would use the door, the aged Hokage sighed and went back to stare at his paperwork before breaking out into tears. Chapter 2 Meeting the Sage and Training. Academy Team Selection Day. Naruto walked into the academy still on a high after the events of last night. He had graduated and knew a rank jutsu. All in all, things were going well for our golden-haired hero. As he walked in he noticed a couple of the students giving him questioning looks. Apparently they were not aware he had passed. Naruto, what are you doing here? This is for people who passed the exam, said Shikamaru. Look at the forehead, I did pass, Naruto responded. Troublesome was the Nara's only response as he turned his head back and went back to sleep. However, his mind was working in overdrive. He definitely failed. That means something must have happened in the time since then. I wonder if it had anything to do with why all those Chunin were running around like headless chickens last night. Shikamaru thought. He was brought out of his internal musing by the arrival of Sasuke's two biggest fan girls. Ino and Sakura. Troublesome though it was, he just couldn't concentrate on the puzzle that was the Uzumaki, while there was a banshee screeching right behind his ear. It said blonde enigma for having the nerve to get between her and her Sasuke-kun. Thankfully for all students and definitely Akamaru, Iruka arrived and forced in the class to quieten. Okay class, you are now going to be given the teams you will work with until you make Chunin. First we have Team 1. Team 7 will be Sakura, Hirano, Sasuke, Uchiha. Iruka began, but was cut off by a very loud class member. Yes, true love wins out. I'm destined to be with Sasuke-kun, Sakura yelled, causing the surrounding students and Iruka to wince at how loud she was. Okay, anyway, the final member of Team 7 will be Sai, and your sensei will be Kakashi Haddock, Iruka said, before moving on to Team 8. The rest are the same as canon. Hey Iruka-sensei, why didn't I get a team? Asked Naruto. You probably didn't even graduate. You probably stole that Hetaiot from someone else, Naruto baka screeched Sakura. That's enough, Sakura. The Hokage personally passed Naruto last night after he passed a far harder exam than the one yesterday. Naruto, after this is over you are to go to the Hokage Tower to find out your team placement. That's all it says on my form. Okay, now the rest of you, your senseis will be here in 1 hour. Till then I suggest you get to know your new team. Iruka finished and left the new genin to their own devices. Naruto was a little pissed he had to wait till everyone already had their team before he was told to go to the Hokage Tower, but figured there was a reason, so decided to hurry to meet his new team. Hokage Tower. At the same time, Kakashi was confused and a little angry. He wanted to teach his sensei's son more than anything to try and make up for all the times he couldn't save him from a beating when he was in Anbu. Hokage-sama, may I ask whose team Naruto is going to be on? I was hoping I could teach the boy, Kakashi Haddock said, clearly upset. The Hokage went to answer, but before he could he was cut off. Mine, said a voice from the window, and all the Jonin in the room turned to see the legendary Toad Sage sitting casually in the window facing over the village. Master Jiraiya, why would you take on another apprentice? And that thing of all children, why not take on one of the top students like the Uchiha? I mean, surely you know what that thing is. One random soon to be demoted Jonin said. He is a child who has very little talent but has the will to never give up and strength to cope with almost anything despite failing. In short, he is like me. Why would I want to train a snobbish arrogant gaki like that Uchiha who has had everything handed to him when I could train someone who actually needs it? Jiraiya answered with a hint of killing intent directed to the man insulting his godson. Hokage Tower. Naruto walked into the Hokage's office like he owned the place, looking for any new faces. He only saw one, a tall man, and no sign of his new team anywhere. Hey Gigi, what gives? Where's my team already? Everyone else already has them except me, asked a confused Naruto. Ah yes Naruto, I'm here to tell you that this man here has requested you as his apprentice. Hiruzen responded. Oh okay, hi, I'm Naruto. What's your name? The blonde asked. I am glad you asked, kid. I'm the great Toad Charmer from MT Miyabakizan, the legendary Master Jiraiya completing his dance with a pose. Gigi, can I have a sensei who isn't a complete idiot? Naruto said with a deadpan expression. He now Naruto, Jiraiya here was one of my very own pupils and is a very famous ninja. You can learn a lot from him. When Hess not enjoying his other hobbies, the aged Hokage chuckled. So what are you going to teach me, Jiraiya-sensei? Some cool new jutsu? Naruto asked excitedly. Hold on Gaki, gotta fix what's wrong before we can move on to learning new moves. Don't worry though, it shouldn't take that long, and I think a proper Taijutsu style, rather than that basic academy one, will be on the cards. Then I promise I'll teach you a new jutsu, Jiraiya said with a smile at the eagerness of his godson. Well then we better get started then. I can't wait, soon I will show Sasuke team I'm not a dope, Naruto yelled as he and Jiraiya left for a training ground. Training ground 2, okay, so what are we going to learn? I know you said you wanted to fix my problems, but I don't know what they are. I mean, I know that my chakra control isn't good, but other than that I don't know, nobody has ever helped me, and I don't see what's wrong with my Taijutsu style, Naruto said looking to Jiraiya for some answers. Well, let's see. First I want you to fight 5 clones against yourself and see if you can win. That will show you the holes in your Taijutsu style. I'll be teaching you strategy and a lot of chakra control exercises, and once you master tree and water walking I will teach you 2 jutsu. One of them will be a jutsu the 4th Hokage invented. Deal? Jiraiya said, knowing that Naruto would be interested in learning a jutsu from his hero. Sure, you bet, just you watch, Jiraiya-sensei. I will get this stuff down in no time. Kagebushin no jutsu. The 5 Naruto clones proceeded to hand one legendary ass kicking to the original before he eventually dispelled the final clone. Okay, you win, sensei. I need help with Taijutsu, but I have a question. When I was facing the clones, after I dispelled them, I could remember winning the fight like I was one of the clones, Naruto said, confused. Oh, looks like you may not be such a dumbass after all. You see, the shadow clone is a forbidden jutsu for several reasons. Mainly because it uses such a large amount of chakra it is impractical and dangerous for most people to use. The second is because the person learns everything the clone does. You can be overcome by information overload, Jiraiya explained. So does that mean I can use them to help me train? Naruto asked. Yes, very good. Now this is dangerous, and I would go as far as saying that you would be the only person capable of using this style effectively because you heal faster thanks to the fox and your enormous chakra supplies, the Toad Sage answered. You know about the fox? The blonde knucklehead asked. Yes, I do, and in time I'm going to help you control it eventually so you can use it to make you stronger. But before that we need to get you strong enough to be a good ninja without it. Now I want you to make 50 clones and get them to read these books while I show you the kata for my Taijutsu style, Jiraiya said. Awesome, let's get to work, the blonde yelled as 50 clones popped into existence. Chapter 3, Rasengan and One Big Toad. It had been several weeks since Naruto had been training with Jiraiya, and the Toad Sage had been impressed with his improvement. He had got tree walking down and had almost mastered water walking. He had become proficient enough that he could now beat 10 clones at a time in Taijutsu. Naruto had found a new hobby in seal making, and he couldn't understand why there weren't more seal masters in Konoha, with Jiraiya being the only one, something which the Toad Sage was all too willing to boast about as it was considered one of the more difficult ninja arts. Okay Gaki, looks like you got it down. Come to land and dispel your clones. I'm going to give you a gift, the white-haired toad charmer said, getting a jump for joy from his young charge. So what's the gift, sensei, asked an enthusiastic Naruto. It's this, summoning jutsu, the old toad sage said as a scroll appeared along with a small toad. Okay Naruto, I want you to come here and sign your name next to where it says Minato Namikaze, Jiraiya said, pointing the empty space on the scroll. Sure thing, okay, now what, the blonde asked. Use these hand signs and then slam your hand down. Now for this, you can't use shadow clones, it has to be all you, because you could have half of the toads of Mayaboku here by the end of the day if you do, Jiraiya explained. The training went slow and all he could summon was a rather friendly toad by the name of Gamakichi and his brother Gamatatsu, but he couldn't get anything bigger. What am I doing wrong, Jiraiya sensei? Jiraiya sensei? Are you peeking on the women at the waterfall? You are, aren't you? I didn't know you were nothing but a little pervert, Naruto said angrily. Hey, I'm not a little pervert, Jiraiya responded, I'm a super pervert. How is that better, the blonde asked with a sweat drop. Anyway, I think I know how you can master the jutsu. You have to be faced with a life and death situation. And if I'm correct, you will get in contact with the fox and start learning how to control his chakra at the same time, the toad sage said. Near a valley that is for some reason just outside of Konoha. Okay Gaki, it's do or die, good luck, he said as he tossed Naruto off the edge. Please forgive me Minato, he finished in an afterthought. Moments later, Naruto resurfaced on top of an angry Gamabunta and after a small conversation with his new summoner decided to test him to see if he is able to stay on his head for a day, which he was able to do, passing out just as he made it to sundown. For the next few weeks, Naruto continued training till he could summon a Gamabunta-sized toad without needing Kyuubi's chakra and had even gone on number of C-rank missions with teams 8 and 10, or just with Jiraiya. Most of them were basic, like deliver packages to another small village in Fire Country. So what are we going to work on today, Arisenin? Naruto asked. A tick mark appeared on said pervert's head. Gaki, how many times have I asked you not to call me that? I will stop calling you Arisenin when you stop peeking on women wherever we go, the blonde responded. Anyway, today I'm going to teach you a new jutsu, and this one is right up your alley. It was created by my greatest student, the fourth Hokage. And all you need is chakra, and there are no hand signs. This is a 3-step process. First is rotation, the second is power, and finally you combine the two to produce this Rasengan. A blue ball of chakra appeared in Jiraiya's hand as he finished his explanation. Awesome, what do I have to do? The energetic blonde was bouncing off the wall at the prospect of learning a jutsu created by his hero. Here you have to pop these water balloons, just like this, and he rotated the water inside the balloon till it popped. Putting a bucket of the balloons down, Naruto quickly made 100 clones and got to work. It took him several hours, but Naruto eventually figured out that the water had to be spun in all directions. Jiraiya then started Naruto on the second stage for him to work on for the next week, while he went to check on his spy network and left Naruto with Team 9. The following week was what Naruto would call extreme, especially when he made a promise he would keep up in Guy and Lee's extended physical workouts. By the end of the week though, Naruto had completed the second stage of the Rasengan and had taken to wearing weights after he found out how much faster Lee was because of them. Naruto was now working on the third part of the Rasengan and felt he was very close. He could stop the balloon from blowing up for about 10 seconds at full rotation before it would destabilize. Naruto had figured he could complete it with a shadow clone, but felt he didn't want to be forced to use the jutsu. You're almost there, Gaki, you should have it by next week. I have to go again for a few weeks, so I want you to go get a team to do some missions with, preferably a C, Jiraiya said. Oh okay, I hope I get some C ranks. Those Ds are nothing but kids' chores. I mean, I know they're to strengthen team cooperation, but I mean we could have done them in the academy, Naruto said. Yeah, I know, but that's the way Sensei does it. Maybe when you're Hokage you can change things. So, how are your studies on seals going? Are you ready to move up to the intermediate books yet? The white-haired man asked. Yeah, that would be great. I finished all the beginner's books last week, so I've had the extra clones working on the Goken to Jutsu style Guy Sensei taught me. It's good because while the Toad style is defensive, the Goken is offense, so I can change styles to what is needed for a battle, Naruto said. Excellent work, Gaki, you're starting to think like a ninja. I'm proud of you. Now keep working and remember to take all your balloons with you to whatever you have to do next week so you can get training in. That way you can show me what you have done when I get back, Jiraiya said. The pair continued training and sparring till the late in the afternoon when Naruto made his way home and Jiraiya went to the Hokage Tower. The next day at the Hokage Tower, hey Gigi, I need another team for a few weeks. Arisenin has left again to perv on women, or whatever else he does when he leaves the village, Naruto said loudly. Oh yes, Naruto, Jiraiya told me you would need a team. Don't worry, I have a C rank mission for the next Genin team to come in for a mission, the old Hokage said kindly. It turned out the next team through the door was a very cut up looking Team 7 and Kakashi with a struggling Tora in Sasuke's arms. Okay Team 7, good job catching Tora. Now we have a mission to paint a fence. The Inuzukas want their dogs walked and kennels washed, earth ears. No Tora, come back catching Tora again, the Hokage said with a small face palm. No, the entire of Team 7 minus their sensei yelled. Well, we do have a C rank, and your team is the last one to do one, Kakashi. Do you think they're ready? Here is inside. Well, their teamwork could be better, but I would say they can handle a C rank no problem, the copy ninja replied. Very well, and you will have some help on this mission. Naruto Uzumaki, his sensei, is out of the village and has requested Naruto aid another squat until he returns, the Hokage said. Why Naruto, that baka will only get in our way. I mean, he screws everything up, Sakura yelled. Naruto, who had entered moments before, had his head down. Why do I like her again? I mean, she is loud and, in all honesty, has never treated me like I meant anything. I think I just wanted someone popular and smart to like me. Well, not anymore, I'm so through with her, he thought. Anyway, despite what you think, Naruto here is a splendid ninja and will help this mission, I'm sure of it. Now will you send Tazuna-san and please, Hiruzen said loudly. In walked an old man with a straw hat and a large smell of sake. He wore slightly banged up clothes and looked a little worse for wear. What, these are the ninja who are supposed to protect me? They look more like school kids to me, the man said indignantly as he looked at the genin. Chapter 4, Wave Naruto, don't kill the client. It's bad for business, the Hokage chuckled. Okay Jiji, for you, Naruto said, putting his kunai away before going to stand next to Kakashi. So I say we meet at the West Gate in 1 hour, Kakashi said before he disappeared via a shunshin. 1 hour later, West Gate. Naruto was looking at a rather confusing sight. It seemed like Sakura was trying to dispel Kakashi as though he were a Genjutsu. Naruto had learned about dispelling Genjutsu from one of the scrolls his clones had read, and Kurenai-sensei had helped him be able to dispel and detect some basic Genjutsu when he had some missions with Team 8. Where is that Naruto baka? I can't believe he would be late, just goes to show how useless he is. He's nothing like Sasuke-kun, Sakura said. What do you mean, Sakura? Naruto is in that tree over there, has been there before I got here, although he is doing a good job hiding his presence, Kakashi said. The three stunned genin turned around to see Naruto lazily leaning against a tree branch. How did I not notice him? I mean, come on, he wears bright orange, seethed Sasuke. Well, shall we get going? This mission isn't going to complete itself, the blonde joyfully spoke. You're a weird one, aren't you? Gaki Tazuna spoke. Maybe, but I'm starting to think a lot of great ninja have odd quirks. For example, Kakashi-san here obviously likes to read my sensei's perverted books in public. And there is this crazy snake lady that basically lives at Training Ground 44 who has a thing for blood, Naruto said, shivering at the memory. He and Jiraiya had gone to train in the Forest of Death, only for his sensei to leave him upon the arrival of one Anko Mitarashi. Anyway, we should go. Naruto, where is your stuff? The silver-haired ninja asked. Got it here, Kakashi-san, Naruto responded, pulling out a few scrolls from his small backpack. Kakashi nodded and the small group headed outwards Wave. Several hours later on the road to Wave, Naruto baka, what are you doing with those balloons? You're just trying to be the center of attention, you're never going to be as good as Sasuke, the pincat screeched. I'm doing an exercise my sensei left for me. And I'm almost finished it anyway, so why does it bother you? Naruto responded. Naruto is right, maybe. If you did some exercises, Dickless over there will pay more attention to you, Sai said, causing Naruto and Kakashi to chuckle and Sakura and Sasuke to go red in anger. Kakashi was watching the blonde very closely. He had known immediately what the exercise was and knew how close the knucklehead was to completing his sensei's prized jutsu. Jiraiya-sama, how much has Naruto improved from the dead last in the class if he is this close to finishing the Rasengan only 3 months after graduation, Kakashi thought. Several hours later, Naruto noticed what looked like 2 relatively large puddles on the ground and then realization kicked in. Hang on, everything else is so dry, how could there be those puddles when it looks like it hasn't rained in weeks? Naruto looked at Kakashi, who glanced back and faintly nodded, indicating that this was indeed a Genjutsu. The group walked past the puddles. But when Naruto and Kakashi felt a chakra spike, they immediately turned around to see what looked like 2 Kiri ninja with breathing devices on. They charged at Kakashi, but missed the fact he used a koarami to substitute with a log. Naruto quickly jumped into action, producing 5 shadow clones and sent them to intercept the 2 ninja who were making a dash for Tazuna. Getting in the way, two clones successfully stalled the missing nins, while a third pined the chain connecting them to the ground. They soon recovered, though and disconnected from the chain, dispersing three of the clones. Naruto responded by kneeing the closest ninja and using clones to hold him down while Sasuke and Sai dealt with the other. After the confrontation, Kakashi walked out from the bushes much to the shock of the genin of Team 7. "Kakashi-sensei, I thought you died," Sakura screeched, causing all present to wince and Kakashi to point at the log wearing his jacket with red paint on it. "Well, this is unexpected." Guado and Mizo, the demon brothers, B-rank missing nin from Kurigakure. "I didn't expect this. This mission is definitely not C rank anymore, it's more like a B borderline A. Tazuna, I think you have some explaining to do," Kakashi said sternly. "I think it was Gato who hired them. You see, Wave has been bled dry by Gato and he wants me dead, so I can't finish my bridge and the country no longer has to rely on shipping to gain supplies," Tazuna said, laying on the guilt trip. "Well, we were still given false information. If you couldn't afford a higher rank, you should have told the Hokage and organized another payment method. Now we have to decide whether or not to continue or go back to Konoha," Kakashi said. "I say we go on. He needs help and has an honest goal to free a nation, and I can't abandon him," Naruto declared. "HMP, if the dope is staying then so am I. I can't have an incomplete on my first C rank mission," Sasuke said, which followed by statements of agreement from Sakura and Sai. "Fine, we will continue, but once your country is back on its feet we will be expecting a full mission payment for the eventual rank of this mission." "Got it," Kakashi finished. "Yes, that won't be a problem at all, that you all so much," Tazuna said, happy to still have protection of the small group of Leaf Ninja. 2 days later, "So Tazuna-san, how much longer until we reach your house?" Kakashi asked, curious how long it could be till he could read his little orange book again. "Not long, should only be about another hour at this speed," the bridge builder replied. Half an hour later, and Kakashi was on edge. The fog they were in didn't seem natural and was getting thicker. It wasn't long before Naruto flung a kunai into a nearby bush, but all it ended up being was a bunny. Strange, that rabbit had white fur, which is rare around these parts, especially in summer. My guess would be that it was raised indoors. As the musings of Kakashi were soon drowned out by the sound of metal moving towards the group at a fast speed. "Get down," Kakashi yelled. Naruto grabbed Tazuna and tackled the old man to the ground as a large cleaver flew just overhead. Well, what do we have here?" a little genin Tima figure said as he came into view. He could be seen as of a bit taller than Kakashi with a similar face mask and no eyebrows. "Zabuza Momoichi, the demon of the bloody mist, wanted for the assassination of the water dynamo and attempted assassination of the Mizukage," Kakashi recited in a calm yet serious tone. "Oh my, it's Kakashi, the copy ninja rumored to have copied over 1,000 jutsu. It will be a pleasure killing you," Zabuza said in a cocky voice. "Okay guys, you stay and guard the bridge builder. I will handle Zabuza," Kakashi said as he raised his hetai to reveal his covered eye. "So I get to see the Sharingan this early. I'm honored." Kiriagakure no jutsu. The mist grew so thick that nobody could see through it. Even Kakashi, although he could still predict attacks with his Sharingan, had no way of seeing the man. 8 vital spots: heart, jugular, kidneys, liver, subclavian artery, spine, larynx, lungs. Now which will be my attack point?" Zabuza taunted from the mist. Sasuke was shaking from the killer intent, unable to move as he sat there under the massive killer intent. Slowly he was bringing a kunai up to his neck to end it, but was cut off by Kakashi. "Don't fret, Sasuke, you will be alright, I will protect you," Kakashi said, in order to prevent the untimely death of his student. "Oh, I don't think so," said Zabuza as he appeared behind Tazuna and brought his cleaver down towards the bridge builder, but before he could, Kakashi intercepted and deflected the swing with a kunai. Kakashi kicked Zabuza back into the mist, where he couldn't be seen, before running off after him. Appearing behind the demon of the mist, he held a kunai to his larynx and slit his neck, but noticed he turned into water. Mizubushin, the copy ninja, thought as he was struck with the cleaver, ripping him in half before dissolving into water. "Well, I'm impressed, Kakashi, even in the mist you were able to copy my moves, but that's all it is, a copy. It has nothing on the original," Zabuza boasted. Planning his next attack, he kicked Kakashi out of the fog and onto the water. As Kakashi got up, he couldn't see Zabuza anywhere. Where is he? But before he could finish his thought, he felt a chakra spike and found himself trapped in a orb of water. "Forget about me. Take the bridge builder and run. He has to use contact to keep me here, and it's draining his chakra," Kakashi ordered his team. Team 7 looked ready to comply, but Naruto refused to budge. "Are you kidding? If I just abandoned a comrade, I would never be able to look at Arasenin in the eye again. You just watch, Kakashi-san. I'll kick this guy's ass then get you out of there," the blonde yelled. Seeing Naruto's resolve and not wanting to be outdone, Sasuke came and stood next to Naruto as Zabuza created several Mizubushin to deal with what he considered a pest. Naruto reacted quickly, creating 20 shadow clones and sent them to engage the Zabuza clones. The members of Team 7 were stunned. Naruto, the class dope, had just made 20 clones, and not only that, these were not some illusion but full-body solid clones. How is he able to do that, and why haven't I been taught that jutsu? If anybody deserves a jutsu like that, it's me, Sasuke seethed. Zabuza's clones were quickly dispatching the shadow clones with relative ease, so Naruto decided he best stay back. I need to think of something. If I can distract the clones enough so that I can sneak by and attack the real Zabuza, so we can free Kakashi-san. I know, Sasuke. Sai, I need you to throw as many kunai and shuriken at them as you can. I have a plan. Naruto finished by creating 20 more clones. Heck, clones again. Can't you children see you're out of your league? Zabuza smirked as Naruto's clones bent down to push off in a sprint, while Sai and Sasuke began attacking at a distance with kunai. As the clones engaged, suddenly 10 more Naruto clones appeared around the original Zabuza and attacked him from all angles, forcing him to jump. What the how did that kid get past my clones, he thought, before coming to the realization that he had just released Kakashi from his watery prison. Yes, it worked. I had some clones hinge into rocks on the floor while my others picked them up, and when they engaged the Mizubushins, quickly throw them towards the real Zabuza, Naruto explained to the mystified Team 7 and Zabuza. Very clever, Naruto. But now I have to finish this, as thought Kakashi. I got distracted and forced to let go of the water prison, Zabuza said, not wanting to think he was outsmarted by a fresh genin. Don't flatter yourself, you were forced to let go, Kakashi said as he waited for Zabuza to start the first move. Zabuza jumped away from Kakashi and started running through hand signs at the same time as Kakashi. In the end, both finished at the same time, ending shouting water style, water dragon jutsu. I'm far too lazy to write the real names and their English translation. I will still keep the main ones like Chidori, Rikiri, and Rasengan. Don't like it, Sumi. Identical streams of water clash. How did that happen? The Sharingan allows the user to copy and recreate what the other is doing, but they defiantly finished at the same time. How thought Zabuza as the jutsu ended. Zabuza jumped back and started to run through hand signs, but failed to notice that Kakashi was once again performing the same jutsu, only this time faster. Water-style giant vortex jutsu. Kakashi finished, and a large spinning wave of water hit Zabuza, throwing him into a tree. How are you doing that? Can you see the future? Yes, and in your future, I see death. Kakashi finished for Zabuza. But before he could deliver the killing blow, Senbon needles shot out from a nearby tree and impaled into Zabuza's neck, apparently killing him. Thank you for weakening my target. I have been chasing him for a long time, the masked hunter Nin said in an even tone. Allow me to take the body. Farewell, Leaf Ninja, the masked hunter said as he picked up the body and left with a shunshin. Well, anyway, are we almost at your house, Tazuna-san? Kakashi questioned. Tazuna was about to answer when Kakashi collapsed from exhaustion and overusing the Sharingan. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura cried out in worry for her fallen leader. Naruto, Sai and Sasuke checked him, making sure he was alright. Pulling his headband back over his eye, Naruto created a couple of clones that picked him up and they headed for the bridge builder's house. On arriving at the house, they were greeted by Tazuna's daughter Tsunami and given rooms to rest in. The following day, Kakashi came downstairs on crutches. Looking around, saw his genin and Naruto eating breakfast. Kakashi was about to speak up. Thanks for watching, see you next time.